Hello and welcome to an educational video brought to you by Bayntree Wealth Advisors. My name is Cristina Perez and I'm a certified financial planning professional here at Bayntree. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about budgeting. Let's get started. First, a general disclosure. This video was made for educational purposes only and should not be seen as specific advice, since we are not taking into account your personal circumstances. So, why does budgeting matter? First of all, it can help you prevent getting into debt, but also get out of debt. In addition, it helps to reduce financial stress and really create a sense of control over your money. In addition, it ensures that you're saving enough for your future goals. These are essentially the 5 steps that you would want to take to start budgeting. Number 1 is assessing your after-tax income. So that means the actual amount that you take home every month to your bank. So once you know that figure, the next step is figuring out your expenses. So you'll have to probably guess what your expenses are to start, and then you'll track your expenses, and that's part of the monitoring process of your budgeting. And that's when you'll really get to see if you're using a realistic figure for those expenses, or if maybe you just need to watch your spending a little bit more. Number 3 is setting clear financial goals. It's important to save for short-term goals, medium-term, but also long-term goals. So ensuring you're allocating some of the savings to each of those buckets. And once you have done steps 1 through 3, you're ready to create your budget. And there's essentially 2 main ways that you can go about the actual budgeting creation. You can use an app, and typically that allows you to link outside accounts, and it's typically a little bit more efficient, but you usually have to pay a price to use these platforms and tools. The other way that you can go is doing it yourself, which requires a little bit more time, but is definitely lower cost. And once you have created your budget, the last step is making sure to monitor and adjust your budget accordingly. So we would recommend considering a 50-30-20 approach, which essentially means you would allocate 50% of your take-home pay to your essential expenses or your needs. 30% would go to wants or discretionary expenses, and the last 20% should be going to savings and maybe additional debt repayment if you want to pay off debt more aggressively. And here's some examples of the different expense categories. So as I mentioned, needs are going to be essential expenses such as rent, liability payments, which could also include insurance premiums, groceries, gas, anything that you absolutely need to live. The wants are going to be more of your discretionary expenses such as travel, eating out, entertainment, any of the fun stuff. Anything that you in an emergency can cut out would probably be considered a want. Savings, we definitely would encourage you to ensure that you have emergency savings. 3 to 6 months is the general rule of thumb. And once or we would actually recommend, if you don't have general savings, to also save for retirement at the same time. So just ensure that you're saving, as we mentioned, for those short-term goals being unexpected emergencies, for medium-term goals, for example, if you want to buy a new car or a new house, down payment if you're wanting to upgrade or whatever the situation may be. And then lastly, making sure that you're also saving for longer-term goals such as retirement. So it's important once you create your budget that you actually maintain it. That's, it's really only going to do you good if you actually ensure that you're staying within the guidelines that the budget is creating. So go ahead and consider taking advantage of some tools and apps that make it a little bit easier for you to get started. Or consider doing it yourself, or even working with a financial coach who can walk you through the process. And here are some tools that we would recommend checking out. the top section are some free and low cost apps that you can consider using. And we'll also be sure to provide our budget spreadsheet for those of you that maybe want to try the do it yourself route. Thank you very much for watching, and we hope this video was educational and valuable. Thank you.